In 1977, head coach Bart Starr's Green Bay Packers won 4 games while losing 10. A record not as disappointing as it sounds. For despite the losses, there were many positive signs of improvement at key positions and in overall fundamental team skills. Certainly there were games when mistakes, broken plays, or agonizing near misses spelled Packer defeat. But through these lean and difficult times, the Green Bay players never lost their competitive intensity. They were never blown out of a game. With grit and determination, they hung tough mentally as well as physically. While improvement was not startlingly and dramatically apparent in the one-lost ledger, it was substantial. And as the season progressed, the hard work, team discipline, and togetherness began to make itself evident more and more frequently. So it was that while 1977 will not be remembered as a banner season, it did serve as an important step in the Green Bay Packers' continuing rise to a competitive level of the championship caliber. Last year, opponents did not face the Packers in wide-eyed fear, but they did learn to hold a grudging respect because the green and gold made Sunday a hair's breadth escape for many rivals. A case in point was the home opener against Houston, a game in which the Pack swarmed over Oilers' miscues while battling to a 10-10 deadlock. With but 4 minutes left, Green Bay was driving for the go-ahead score when a tipped pass flooded into the wrong hands. Fate, a fluke, either way it meant defeat. Disappointing because the Packers had outplayed the Oilers, especially on defense, where linebacker Fred Carr, number 53, was a roving wrecker, hitting here, there, and everywhere. This was Carr's 10th season, and the old warrior played with guile and undiminished enthusiasm while marking 140 consecutive starting assignments. Beside him in the middle, number 50, Jim Carter was in his 8th season. Carter's aggressive play served as a living blackboard for a young starter named Gary Weaver, number 52. Weaver's abilities at outside linebacker are just beginning to peak, and he'll be a keystone for future youthful improvements in the linebacker legions, along with Tom Toner, his replacement for 9 games in '77. In 1977, the Packers' front four established youthful foundations, which, as they mature, will yield benefits for many years to come. Number 77, defensive end Mike Butler, started in his first season and combined an ability to range far and wide with the ability to smack a play down fast and hard. As he learns the ropes, all-pro recognition is within his grasp. At the other end, number 70, Bob Barber, was in his 2nd season, and his valuable contribution extended to the special teams as well as to the front four. Neither Butler nor Barber can afford to let down because pushing them is number 78, Ezra Johnson. Only a rookie, Johnson could start at either linebacker or defensive end, but surely will make his mark in Green Bay. The guy who lends enthusiasm to players and fans alike is Dave Roller, number 74. He's in his fourth year, and at 6'2", 270 pounds, he's a steamroller with a Maserati's acceleration and handling. His quickness is his strong suit. Often the snap and his reaction are virtually simultaneous, and his penetration beats the offensive line's reaction to him. A deep gray snowy day in the season's 11th week showcased the Roller trait that makes him unique. For Roller is a man who plays a high-intensity, rampantly emotional brand of football. In his heart beats the blood of a winner. Call it spirit, desire, or emotionalism. Nevertheless, it's one of those intangibles that is a positive influence on a team. A mental characteristic that can nurture, then sustain cohesiveness and a winning attitude. Dave Roller is not one of a kind, for in the Green Bay theory of total team defense, it takes 11 men on one wavelength. In many instances last year, the rival quarterback had the time, but not the place to throw, because roaming the deep ranges of the Packer defense was a brand of men who called themselves SWAT. Number 29 is second-year man Mike McCoy, a cornerback who's already got a veteran's nose for the ball and has settled into the toughest position on defense as though he plans to stay a while. A prime example of the young core of talent that is moving Green Bay toward a promising future. Number 46 is Steve Luke, a third-year strong safety from Ohio State, who's also an original member of the Packers' youthful percussion set. Free safety Johnny Gray led the team in tackles his first year and finished second with a special intimidating style in '77. Cornerback Willie Buchanan, number 28, is the veteran of the group at a youthful 26. Buchanan swats hard enough to separate a man from his sweat, and his hitting was contagious. Any coach can be optimistic about the future when his team's willing to mix it up on a guts level. In '77, the Pack didn't always set scoreboards blinking, but they did start stars exploding in opponents' heads. Chester Marcole's booming kickoff started a chain reaction that sometimes exploded prematurely. However, special team play continued to be excellent through enthusiastic effort. In '77, Packer special teams continued to rank near the top in kick coverage. Punter David Beverly's hang time allowed men like Jim Gano, Steve Wagner, and number 43, Andra Thompson, to hold returns to a minimum. On kick returns, number 40, Willard Harrell, was always a threat to shake it loose for a big gain and perhaps even a game breaker. The prime factor for special teams is execution. The better the coaching, the better the discipline, the better the execution. As with the other Green Bay units, there is room for growth, progress, and new personnel. But also, like the other units, the special teams have got the nucleus of talent that is going to carry the Packers onward and upward toward title goals. Last season, the Packer fans greeted each Sunday with fun and enthusiasm, despite the fact that sometimes the offense showed signs of youthful inconsistency. Nonetheless, the offensive line of center Larry McCarron, guards Dennis Harvick and Melvin Jackson, and tackles Dick Himes, Mark Concar, and rookie Greg Cook were relentless in their quest to provide running room for backs like dependable Eric Torkelson, number 26. Number 48, Nathan Simpson, a rookie from Tennessee State, showed outstanding potential, as did young Jim Culbreth, a fullback with exceptional speed. Number 34, rookie Turdell Middleton, exhibited some promise as a speedy, rugged halfback. Number 40, Willard Harrell, possessed big play potential, whether passing, catching, or running. In only his third year, Harrell symbolizes the improving youthfulness of the Green Bay offensive unit. Fourth-year man was rugged fullback Barty Smith, who added an extra dimension with his good pass-catching ability. Wide receiver Ollie Smith, at 6'3" and 200 pounds, had a smaller man's ability to get open, but a big man's strength to break tackles. Number 84, Steve Odom, was still another fourth-year man whose blazing speed made him very hard to cover, impossible to catch from behind. While total offense was an admitted weakness of this year's Packer squad, there were glorious moments when it all hummed like a finely tuned engine. Steve Odom was the driver on one such play. A beautifully faked handoff in a wide-open alley for the running back had the defense yelling, "Run!" But a flip to Odom proved otherwise, and he then waited for his blocking to form. McCarron and Jackson wiped out 2 threats. Barty Smith canceled another. Tight end Rich McGeorge and Willett Harrell did away with the final obstacles, and Steve Odom was home free. This was the kind of play the Pack could pull off, but in 1977, they were too few and far between. However, the situation is looking up. Experience, seasoning, and maturity will gain many more yards for the 78 Packers. At the same time, top-flight draft choices will be added to bolster positions where talent is now needed. One well-focused spot in the Packer picture was quarterback Lynn Dickey, who performed admirably as a leader impervious to pressure. Only a season-ending injury on the last play of the game against the Rams prevented Dickey from having his best year as a Packer. His return to health will be like a vitamin B12 injection to the Packer offense in '78. When Lynn Dickey was hurt, a first-year man from Furman named David Whitehurst took over. Whitehurst's indoctrination rites were painful at the beginning, but he soon proved to be a rugged match for the defenses stacked against him. His unexpected playing time can only prove out a plus for him in Green Bay in 1978. While the Packers did not rip through their '77 schedule, they did show many solid fundamental strengths, especially in their 4 victories. In New Orleans Superdome, the Pack took quick advantage of the Saints and their Southern hospitality. Lynn Dickey was especially sharp on this day, and practically everything he put up came down right on the money. The Packers rolled to an early, comfortable lead, but the Saints closed the gap and forced the Green Bay defense to get tough. Scrambling Archie Manning was penned in and put down as the Pack sacked him on 7 occasions. While the offense and defense were ticking, the special teams exploded when Willett Harrell returned this punt 75 yards for a score which helped make the final 24-20. For the Packers, this game was a strong all-around performance, important because it pointed to the team's potential, a potential that lacked only consistency to make the season a success. In a victory over the 49ers, the defense sparkled, and it was this unit that showed the greatest improvement in '77. In fact, the Packer defense is only 2 or 3 players away from being among the top defenses in the NFL. They'll definitely come up with more big plays and be even stingier in '78. This 16-14 win over San Francisco was also an important confidence builder for young David Whitehurst, whose passing and play calling were crucial factors in the winning effort. Against the young Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Packers ran into a hard rock defense. But the Packers dished out a dose of defense themselves while not allowing the Bucs to score. Meanwhile, the offense galloped for 13 points as Green Bay easily escaped the embarrassing fate of becoming Tampa Bay's first victim. One of the most satisfying moments of the '77 season came on a gloomy, muddy day when the Lions were in town. Because of the gooey conditions, offense was negligible, and Whitehurst could get the Pack only 10 points. But 10 points was enough, for the Green Bay defense held the Lions to only 9 in an inspired performance that will stand as a beacon, lighting the way toward 1978. Coaches, fans, and players can feel the optimism growing, and they can feel the team growing as the core of young, dependable, first-rate players continues to expand. The tradition of greatness is a proud one in Green Bay, and in 1978, the Packers will be taking a giant step in a return to that competitive position.